Jamie, how's things?
Good, Jace.
Tell us about Melody Bell and your reaction to Trentham and what you've done since then to have her in the shape that could see a win today.
Real head scratcher. Not really sure what to make of the run. Her work leading into it had been perfect, and you know, we're hoping that she just had an off day. She travelled home really well. Her work's been good. Her bloods have been good. General demeanour and well-being's exactly where she needs to be. So you know, hopefully we can turn things around today. But it's you know, it's not going to be easy.
I suppose the question is, sort of, have you had many horses that have been able to turn around a performance like that? I was thinking of Extravagant in some ways, but he seemed more in and out, and she seemed so genuine.
Yeah, I guess you know, he was a colt, and he was brilliant on his best day, but also could mix his form a little bit. She's put in a couple of, you know, average runs towards the end of her prep, both in Brisbane and Sydney, and we never really pressed on. So I guess this is new territory for us, but you know, she's in really good form at home. So nice barrier draw today. Let's roll the dice and see how we go.
I suppose that's the key. We've just seen the closing stages of the Telegraph, and she'll be lining up against other horses that finished in front of her from that race to the BCD group today. Given that she has drawn two and she hasn't had any luck, as is well documented with those draws in the previous two Group 1s that she's competed in, the Telegraph and the Railway, does that say that you're going to have to use the draw and you want to be forward?
Oh, she'll be forward for sure. She's got good speed, and we want to put her there. She enjoys racing on the speed. She'll either be sort of in behind the speed or one out, one back, somewhere there, hopefully. But you know, you just got to keep your fingers crossed that you've got her in the right form, and you know, we're not underestimating how hard it is to turn a horse's form around, but we want to have a shot at it, and you know, we're here, and hopefully we'll run well.
I suppose there are so many times you go to the races with the quality of horses that you train, very excited. Is it excitement with her? What's the difference today with her, given her previous run?
Oh, we're always excited to take nice horses to the races, but at the same time, you sort of don't want to look silly either. So hopefully she can put her best foot forward, and you know, everything that she's doing at home suggests that she's where she needs to be. And you know, she's a mare and she's a racehorse. She's not a colt that we've sort of got to protect her value. So we'll be there doing our best, and if she didn't happen to front up for some reason today, then you know, she'll be off the spelling paddock.
I know you're very busy in the mornings there at Matamata, and you've got a big string of horses to train yourself, but have you kept an eye on Volpe Veloce?
Yeah, sort of always keep an eye on the good ones. Doesn't take long to work them out, the trainers that have got the good ones, whether it's Richie or Parksy, Lance and Scotty there, you sort of get to know them. And yeah, I thought that when she had a canter on Thursday morning on the big track, she looked super in her action, so you know, she's going to be a big chance in the race.
Cambridge Stud Citrician Fillies Classic, you train Sauvignon Blanc. What can you tell us about her preparation leading into that?
Really happy with her, Jason. You know, she's a high-class filly. Things didn't go right at Trentham for us. She sort of got back in the field and then came wide in the straight, and it was one of those days where it was hard to make up ground as soon as you come sort of 3 or 4 off the fence. Secret Allure was back with us, but stayed to the inside, and she won the race. I'm not saying that we would have won, but you know, her last 100 metres was strong, and her work on Tuesday was good.
With a view to the fact that she's stepping up to 2,000 today, and you've got an Oaks in mind, when you leg up Michael Rodd, what will you be telling him about your filly?
You know, she's a pretty classy customer when she's right, and we believe we've got her in the right form to be competitive today. I guess the only concern, she's just a little bit sticky at the barrier, so you know, hopefully we can find a spot going past the winning post the first time without having to do too much work, and you know, midfield would be ideal.
In the first race, you present Harlow. Your record with the juveniles this season is pretty much unrivalled. Outstanding. What can we expect from Harlow today?
She's a filly we really like. She's trialled well, good type, good action. Going to be very tricky from the outside barrier for her, but we want to give her a chance to get to the Matamata Breeders' Stakes in 2 weeks, and by running today we thought we gave her that chance, so that's why she's here. she'll be back and hitting the line. And if she's hitting the line for third or fourth, or maybe even a little bit better, we'd be very happy. But she's a classy filly.
You must have been pretty happy with what you saw in the most recent trial at Matamata, the way that she finished off over 1,000 metres.
Yeah, she trialled well a couple of times a little bit earlier, then we gave her a freshen up, and as you say, trialled well at Matamata, and Shafiq, he's never too tough on them at the trials. She was sort of just doing it under her own steam, whereas the horse that won the trial and is in the race, he got a couple of backhanders and was asked to extend. So, her work's been good. It's not going to be easy for her. Couple of horses there, especially David Green's horse with the blinkers on, trained on the course, it'd be hard to roll.
Just quickly touching on Vino Bella, who lines up in the third at Riccarton filly by Burgundy. How's she come out of her last start placing?
Yeah, she's really well. Richard Didham's been looking after her down there, and her work on Tuesday morning was strong. So, look, she too's drawn a little bit of an awkward barrier, but if she can find the right spot across the junction without being too wide, I'm sure she'll be there in the finish.